Hello, Watauga Rising Engineers, and welcome. In this session we're going to talk about for loops. Well, why do we need to use a for loop? Well, whenever we want to do something over and over and over again, multiple times, it's really convenient to use a for loop. So let me just show you by example. Here on the right is a circuit in which we're driving an LED, and we're blinking it on and off every second. And we're doing that 5 times, and then waiting 4 seconds, and then it repeats. Okay, now we've hooked up this circuit here. Actually, we're coming into pin 5, not pin 13 as shown on this diagram, but pin 5 drives the top end of the LED through a current limiting resistor and then back to ground, so we have a closed loop. And so we just need to send a high and low energy state to pin 5 over and over again in order to blink the LED, and that's what we're doing here. If we look at the code, here I called it status LED, attached to pin 5, and it's an output. And then here's our main loop, and you can see that we do a digital write to that LED. We send a high state, or 5 volts. We wait half a second, which is 500 milliseconds. And then we turn off the LED and wait another half a second, and we do that 1, 2, 3, 5 times. And then down here we delay for 4 seconds, 4,000 milliseconds, and then it just starts all over again. Now see, in this case we're doing something over and over again, and it took kind of a lot of writing here. What if I wanted to blink that thing on and off 100 times? I would have a really long file here, and I'd just have to keep typing all day in order to get, or copy and paste in order to get the code that I wanted. Well, there's an easier way, and that's using what's called a for loop structure, or a for loop. This code does exactly the same thing. It uses the same pin that's an output to drive the LED, and inside my loop I have this structure right here. There's my for loop. Okay? Now the way this works is inside this parenthesis right here is the control for the for loop, and what it says is it's going to loop 5 times, and the way it does that is it tracks each time you step through the loop. It increments this thing called an index, or in this case I'm using the variable I. Okay, and so I start off, I initialize I to be a value of 1, and then I execute the stuff inside the bracket, and it loops back up and it increments I by 1. That's what that plus plus I means. So now I is equal to 2. And what it's going to do is it looks at that piece of the code right there and it says, well, is I less than or equal to 5? If so, then continue the loop. So in this case, it's our second iteration. I is equal to 2. It's less than 5. So we do the loop again. And then, as you would expect, we loop back up. We increment I to become 3. It's still less than or equal to 5. And so it does it again. And it keeps doing that until I increments to be 6, which is greater than 5. It's not less than or equal. And so that condition is no longer met, the one I just highlighted. And so that means that it will exit the loop and continue on to the next line of code, which in this case is a 4-second delay. And so this is a for loop that iterates 5 times with every second it blinks the LED on and off. I just uploaded it, and you can see that it's executing exactly the same as if I'd written out the blink code over and over again. Okay, well that is a quick introduction to for loops, and they're very useful. Good luck. We'll talk to you later.